Hi, I'm Ian, the Dragonborn Bard, and I'm the Games Master for Dragonborn Industries, a Starfinder Actual Play podcast.
Hey everybody!
Hello.
It's Monday, which means it's time for Dragonborn Industries, and we're back with
Starfinder.
moderation. Just right down the middle. Nothing expansive, nothing great, but nothing shit. Right average down the line, I think, for episode 74.
Woo!
We're racking their numbers up.
74 weeks later.
Yeah, it's, 26 weeks away from the century, which...
The century.
I don't know if you got... I don't know
week?
if you got 100 episodes in you. You got 100 episodes in you?
I reckon we've got 100 in us.
Yeah, no one drag it out.
Yeah. Speech episode.
Yeah.
Shopping episodes.
Yeah. There is plenty of time for stuff like
We
that.
can fill.
Yeah, we absolutely can. Just everybody fill some smut.
Great.
But that's it, we're back, and we're going to jump into this after some corporate shilling and stuff. We are down for podcast listeners and Alex tonight. Unfortunately, he's ill, so we are down Alex, but we have everybody else here at the table. And it was Father's Day this weekend, and I got given an entire 8-pack of white Buenos, a large white Toblerone, a large regular Toblerone, and a Galaxy Ripple cake. I have had a lot of sugar, and I've been working through it today. And about an hour and a half ago, I really crashed, and I'm like, why am I so tired? I walked past, I was like, God, I'm so fat and old. I was just like, oh yeah. The sheer quantity of sugar I've consumed over the past 24 hours probably did it.
You need a nice energy drink to wash that down.
Honestly, part of me was like, God, I hope James sends up with like a crate of Monster today. But instead, I'm just on regular juice. But yeah,
Not the boost juice.
how was everyone's sugar consumption this weekend?
Yeah,
Surprisingly warm. Been craving it and I just haven't bothered getting any.
That's good fun.
Yeah, it is, but it's also sad.
Yeah.
But now James has bought in rings and dodgers, so
Rings and Dodgers.
are all good to go.
Dodger rings.
Oh, yeah.
I guess we should start jumping straight into the announcements because once more at the point where we've got quite a few of them, so I'm going to hand straight over to Steph.
Yeah. It was Father's Day yesterday, and our daddy of sponsors is Richard from Warrior Prince 3D. We're showing him some love at the moment because he's not in a good way. He's had to have a little bit of an upsy doodle fix on his arm. So things are a little bit different for Richard at the moment. His shop, which is you can usually find at www.warriorprince3d.etsy.com, is currently on holiday. So you can't go there. What you can do is go over to his Instagram at warriorprince3d, where you can find a whole wonderful array of ready-to-go, printed, painted, primed, prepped, perfect 3D prints. Have a look at what he has on offer. You can buy them straight from him, slide into his DMs, or if you can't see anything that you kind of fancy, just get him a coffee. Go onto his Ko-fi at warriorprince3d. Get him a coffee. He has done so much for us on stream with providing high quality 3D prints in our minis, terrain, the massive, huge things that are sometimes appear on the table. So when he's feeling better and things are back up, we do have an exclusive permanent code you can use, but I'm not going to give it to you today because you can't use it, so there's no point. What you can do is go show Daddy Richard some daddy love. Thanks.
There you go.
Thank you very much, Steph, and thank you once more to Warrior Prince 3D. Richard is top lad.
Daddy love.
Daddy
And it's
love.
some daddy love. Also, go over to Roll and Play Press's website if you're looking for things like toolkits or one-shot wonders or ways to fill out your world or find new adventures. They have amazing toolkits and books over there, and we have an affiliate code with them, which is Dragonborn10. You can use it at checkout to get 10% off your books, and it lets them know that you come from us. I'm going to throw it over to James, who's going to talk about Twitch Prime.
So if you've got Amazon Prime, you also get part of it, which is called Twitch Prime even.
Twitch Prime.
Which means it's a great way for you to support our channel once every month. It still doesn't work through the app, so you do have to do it through the website. It's just a little way to help us out, and you can also access ad-free viewing as well as some of our exclusive emotes. But while you're at it, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can consider being a channel member. It gets you a loyalty badge, some more custom emojis, and access to some of our exclusive content. and just a little way to show us that you're there and that you love us.
I love it. Thank you very much, James. As I hand over to Jack now, who's going to talk about the merchandise.
So another way that you can also show support, but also get something in return, is by going to our merch store, dragonbornindustries.com, where you can find some t-shirts, the lovely little mugs that we have, and I still think they're some of the best mugs
They are.
ever. They keep
This
things
is
so
my favourite
ridiculously
mug.
hot for so long.
So good.
So if you need a little thing like that, just go over there, a little Dynatech Industries mug, and other things like that. So if you want something for a little bit for your money, and also show your support for us, go to the merch store, dragonbornindustries.com.
Thank you very, very much. While you're there, have a look around on there. We also do healing potions for 5e and 2024. We've also got some dice on there as well. And like Jack said, you can get merch for the different shows that we do. While you're mooching around on the internet, if you're listening on podcast, why not just drop us a small review on the podcast format that you are listening on? We're at the point now where we're trying to expand our reach a little bit, and you can actually do that by just putting a review on it and just leaving a few comments and I think up to 5 stars is fine. If you want to give us 5 stars, I'm not going to complain. It just helps us rise in those rankings and other people to notice us. And lastly, from me, I would like also for you to please go across to critawards.org and vote for Steph for Best Player in a Paizo production and Joe Treff for Best GM in a Paizo production. They are absolutely incredible people. It's amazing to have Steph at a table with us, and Joe Treff is an amazing friend of mine from across the pond, and is just, I deem Alberon to be our big siblings in the Starfinder universe. So please go show them some love, and especially, in trying times. Apart from that, is anything from anybody else?
Not for me.
No.
Let's get stuck in.
Anybody? No.
Right.
Let's get stuck in.
Have you been outside today?
Well, a desert.
Step, bro.
A desert is a harsh environment on any planet. Here, on Verces, on this tidally locked side of the planet, it is a hellscape of biblical proportion. Bashed by solar winds and an unrelenting heat 24 hours a day, our crew have made it out of the frying pan, but have they jumped into the fire? It's very good. I'm very proud of it.
Well done. That was good.
As now, at the base structure of a gargantuan tower in the desert known locally as Qidel, original home to our nanosite crew member Kaz Umbra, Orion's Hope must now work their way inside and locate a Strix simply known to them as the Architect. The one being alive who knows the exact location of Nimbus Dine, CEO of Megacorp Dynatech Industries. We are jumping into today's session straight out of combat, yet again. But this time with a new ally, XP-96, or Poppy Ping as the crew seems to want to call them. Stupid name. A security robot reprogrammed and ready for instruction. I don't know why I've got such a problem with it, but I do. You stand now as this Terminator-class security robot has just come back online. Hello, I am XP-96, or Poppy Ping.
Hello, Poppy Ping.
Hello.
Can you read me your directives just to make sure coding is all up to scratch, please? TP.
What were the directives, please? Apart from telling me not to attack, this is a stupid name. It's not going to go down well here.
Does he actually say that?
Oh, fuck it, why not?
Oh, we can code it out then.
That's personality.
Steve is gonna love this guy.
Obviously, I know that you put in the crew as do not harm, and you've made them to be an ally. They are your security robot now. But you tell me if you put directives in there, or if you're just like, no, just follow my commands.
The directives are basically our ally. This crew here are not to be harmed in any way, to protect them at all costs. and essentially follow orders, really.
My directives are to protect this crew at all costs and follow your orders.
Thank you, Poppy Ping.
And they have this, so for people who maybe missed last week or weren't here, so Poppy Ping is a 9-foot tall security droid. They are very K2SO in nature in terms of how they look. They have this broad shoulders with these massive pauldrons designed for basically riot gear to shove and barge things out of the way or to knock down doors. They have this wide chest plate, these narrow legs, but they have this spherical head which only has 2 lighted eye sockets in blue. Very much in these dark greens, and then they have yellow accents to the upper parts of their legs and parts of their pauldrons, but the head sphere itself, which is this thing that last time you saw was comes down, is and turns on its side, and the eyes, central eye optical sensors look towards you, is this big yellow dome, very kind of the smiley face kind of emoji in shape. Those are my directives.
Very good. Well, I think we should probably get some rest.
Yeah.
If we can.
I'd love to get some
And especially now that we have something.
Yes, I really did a number on you.
You did,
You did
Poppy
quite
Ping.
indeed, and hopefully you won't do that again.
No, I am very strong, but I am at your beck and call, apparently.
Thank you, Poppy Ping.
Thank you.
You just see Pez kind of look up, do you need repairing? You just see light up a torch welder.
Some assistance would be adequate, but I am a self-repairing robot.
How long would you expect it to take to be up to full capacity?
Full capacity will take me a few days if left to nanites,
I
but
don't have that time.
there should be...
We've got some nanite patches.
Yes, nanite patches around. They should help.
We'll use them. Mechanically, can we use just engineering to repair?
I think so, yeah. It's one of those interesting things because I guess we have to look in engineering right now to see if that's something under the skills. How? Because I didn't look at that before. Also, just use the nanite patches. Starfinder.
While they're doing that, just for our international audience, this massive Terminator droid that we've acquired, we've named Poppy Ping, which is Welsh for microwave.
Which comes from the joke, Tamsin. Steve was in the microwave for so long and was adamant they were.
T2 lives in the toaster. Lives in the toaster.
Teachers who've never been outside of their body.
It's not the Welsh word I know.
No, it's that long train station one that Alex can do.
Oh no, it's the 2 words for jellyfish.
Oh, you've told me this before.
So, one of them might get us demonetized on YouTube relatively quickly.
Maybe that's not them.
Yeah. One of them is Piscard and Wibbly Wobbly,
Yeah, that's
which
the one I know.
is fish wibble wobble.
So stupid.
So there's repair item, simple, complex, or equipment.
It'll be complex.
Which is a DC of 20,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It takes an hour.
30 minutes for complex.
But is that to fully repair it?
Well, the thing is, I think it's items, though. I don't think it's
That's what I was thinking, it doesn't mean
Maybe we just use patches. We've got quite a few.
Yeah.
I'm just going to slap the Mark III on XP 90.
Go for it.
66 HP.
Roll it
Back
up.
to it.
Roll her up.
That one.
The square one.
5, 10,
Ooh, Jesus.
3, 13, 19, 20, 23.
Wow.
Nice.
So it gets that many from you. It also, over the next hour, will get 23 from its... is it 5d8 on there?
Is that its repair?
Hit points per hour equal to a CR, which is 10 hit points per hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm Crimson 5d8.
Once per day if they use the full.
Oh, no, that's to be used as a full action,
Yeah,
so it's just,
so-
10 hit points per hour. Sorry, no, I'm rolling stuff when I don't need to.
Cool.
So you get, how many was it from you?
23.
So that'll take it up to...
So it's 33 HP from those two
Yeah.
things. What was it on?
0. You took it down to 0.
Okay,
By the
well-
time that you turn it back online,
Yeah.
it's now got, I'd say, to 1 hit point.
Okay, so 34 then instead.
Yeah.
So we've got a long ways to go.
Start.
Yeah,
As long as he
so
can protect us while we're taking a rest.
I had to put a number on it. About 130 to go.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am self-repairing, you know.
Yes.
I know. Just looks at him like...
Like looking down at the goblin. You are very strange.
XP 90.
Yes, XP.76, hello.
96, apologies. How much do you know about this tower, spire? I've forgotten where we're going.
Qidel.
No, the tower. What's it called?
Qidel.
Oh, it is. Oh, right.
This is the
Qidel.
city of Qidel.
All right. How much do you know about Qidel?
I mean, that's an interesting question to pose to a robot because it knows everything it's been told, but that's the extent of how much it knows. Everything that has been programmed to me.
Do you know who is politically in charge at the moment?
The Sun Council.
Is that how it was when you left? All right. Do you know anything?
Am I remembering things completely wrong here?
You tell me.
So fuck. I know there was some sort of council, but because we were talking about, we think someone's taken over the tower. I know the Sun Council was thrown around, name-wise. Wasn't sure. I'm probably remembering things wrong.
The council that runs this place is called the council.
As
council
far
of
as
the
I
Sun.
know it, is Sun Council.
The Sun Council,
They're
Council of the Sun, Solar Council. They have many different names, but it all means the same thing.
That's right. I'm getting confused with the people that are on the ring, the edge of the planet.
Yeah, that's run by like syndicates and other guilds. And
Yeah,
stuff
but there's
like that.
there's a central.
Yeah, there is.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's legit. That seems legit to me. But
So, this little platform outside, being used for executions relatively regularly.
What platform?
Oh, didn't we
is it
come
further
in
down
fight?
there? I think it's further down.
Oh, it's further
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Is the current council the same as it was, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago? Or has it changed?
Yes, it is the same.
Okay.
I very much doubt that Popty Ping is going to have received information about what's going on upstairs.
Just in case
I mean,
they were one
they've
of
got
the
a fucking
droids
carpet
who
around
decided
that.
to
Yeah.
drop the individuals. We never know. There may be a hive mind.
Were you ordered to execute people recently?
No, my position here is security and defence.
That's fair.
Yeah. Fair
Well, Popty Ping, if you wouldn't mind, please, securing our sleeping area while we take a little defensive nap.
Where are you sleeping?
Lady Sil.
I'm going to go back to that whole.
Little cave thing.
Because I like to imagine, no matter what, she's got like lacy doilies and everything, and there is at least one or two like laid out already, and she's like going back, and I'm going to have at least a rest.
Do you like say, "Oh, we're sleeping in these tunnels"? Then basically, in like these. I believe that is where the crews of the Sandfly usually sleep.
They will not be returning.
Very well. Who am I to defend you from?
People that would seek to do us harm.
Affirmative. And like they probably like look into one of these caves and like their eyes like turn to flashlights and they like look around like I wouldn't sleep there. Like
Do you sleep, Poppity Pig?
no. But
there
I
you
wouldn't
go.
sleep there if I did.
Needs must, Popty Ping, needs must.
And they're like, I will secure the perimeter. Just like making their way around to like the mouth of the cave and stuff.
God, that's magnificent.
Let's leave it. Leave them to it.
Yep.
Leave them to it. Let's get some well-needed rest.
Yes.
Because we're going to need it.
Yes, we are.
If you guys are starting to take rest, are you just going to leave XP.96 to do the full watch? Are you?
I think we should take shift as well.
Yeah.
I don't mind taking a shot.
Well, I think you should probably get first rest because you did want to rest earlier on.
True.
I can take last shift then.
There we go, that seems fair.
Can I just tell Popty Ping to send an alarm to our data pads if someone is to enter this area, this dock?
Yes.
So at least then we can wake up.
Are we aiming for a long one or a short one?
I think we need a long one.
I go for a long.
I can get Roy out and take 4 hours and then be present and correct for the rest of the time. Click.
Roy appears and light rolls into the area around.
Alright.
I ping you because I didn't realise it's a thing. I can ping you like almost like a mini control for Bear. Just kind of like get her on standby.
You fool.
You just see it like galloping around.
Oh, wait, hang on, I've inverted it. Oh no, hang on.
She's like into the Grand Canyon. Fetch.
Right there. Oh no, downwards.
The droid's broken. It was broken when it broke it.
Bear's got lost. Fell down a well.
It's alright, we can go to the bear shop and get another one.
It's not Build-A-Bear.
Yeah,
It's good. I like that.
Literally is Build-A-Bear.
So who's taking first watch? Obviously, Poppy Ping will take a perimeter, and they will make checks.
Good.
I'll take first watch.
Okay. I'll take second.
Yeah, well, I only need 4 hours, so... And I'm just going to be chilling.
Yeah.
So... I can't remember if they've got perception on there or not. You have to double check.
Yes, they do.
Ooh, my God, do they? Woo.
If you've got a sheet, do you want to roll it? Do you want me to roll it?
I'll roll it. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
And then whoever else...
Which dice?
Whoever else is on first for the first 2 hours, also roll a perception check.
25. For Poppy Ping.
24 for Penny.
2 hours goes past, and you just watch as this thing and there is still this sandstorm that goes past the mouth of this cave, but it's it's an illusion. It's a hologram designed to keep people at bay, and this robot just stands there, and every now and again you see them. It's very boring here.
Every little movement that Pez is just watching, almost taking out a little pad, almost doing what are they called? I was gonna say nature people do, the little drawings of Pop Ping, and just kind of annotations along with it, self-healing ?
Yeah, and you see that healing taking effect. Obviously, it's 10 hit points per hour, so I'll wait till we get to an end of the long rest to tell you which point we're at to where you can mark it up to. I think every now and again, you see him, if Bear's near the front, he, puts a finger out and will, poke Bear in the head. What is your designation?
Bear doesn't actually really talk at the minute, so it's just almost like you're prodding a sleeping dog. It just lets out sort of series of digitized growls.
Yes. And there is this... It's obviously not seen another construct like this before, so there is this element of learning. Do you control this one?
Yes, I do, but she has her own mind too.
Would you like to be free? Go.
He just runs.
Down.
Get out of here, you. Bear doesn't go there.
Again.
Bear just
Picks up a wrench. Fetch. Just yeets a wrench out into the stall.
You can just see it go past again.
Stairs a bit longer then. 2 hours pass though. Nothing happens. No returning patrols. You think you've dealt with the ones that were here. Nobody comes round from anywhere else. Who's next up?
So I'm going to say the next one.
Yeah. Perception check, please, for both you and for XP96. Out of the tray, who's rolling first? Are you or XP? You.
I think that's a 20.
Smutty.
Smarty.
An XP.
Which is a 31.
You are Strixien, are you not?
I am indeed.
Why wouldn't you just walk in there?
What differences do you notice about me from other Strixians that you've seen? Sort of like a 360.
You are missing your wings, and your feet are very human.
Very astute.
Your ears are a bit smaller than I'd imagine.
Wasn't expecting that.
Your eyes are all ganky.
Okay, enough.
You're shorter than average.
So anyway,
Just
You're
This comes out of its mouth. Here's the other responses.
I don't have a chin, but I imagine if I had one, it would be like yours.
I'll take that as a compliment.
You should. It's large.
I think Kaz is just like, don't know what to do with you, mate. I'm not sure I'm quite welcome here anymore.
Why is that?
Well, I'm meant to be dead. Clearly, as I'm sure you're well aware that I'm not. So here we are, trying to make my way back into the tower. And you're going to help us, hopefully.
That is in my programming.
Indeed. So, we'll get along just nicely, won't we?
Yes.
Good. Just checking. It's fine.
Okay. You seem worried.
I don't know what gives you that idea.
Okay.
Well, Kaz looks worried.
What's new?
Turn away.
Well,
Is it all the personal attacks?
Just like covering his ears a little bit. Well, they were fine.
I
I thought it was just the queen.
Mum said I'd grow into them.
I look like a little blue elf. Yes, I'm sure we'll be fine. But they, you have this conversation with them, and they stay near the mouth of the cave. They perceive that the only threat, and they'll probably say this like, if anyone's going to come in from anywhere, it's going to be from the outside. Otherwise, we'll hear the door going if anybody opens it from the inside. But 2 hours pass and nothing. No comms, no chiming of alarms, no returning patrols. Who's up for hour 4 through 6?
That's me.
Yeah. Your time, 4 hours with Roy, by the way, is cold, which is very refreshing in this environment. It's like a desert at night time, which you've experienced, that drop in temperature. And when you bring Roy out, you experience that again. There is a pull. I couldn't tell you directly where. It's not directly up.
Yeah.
I will tell you that, but it's like in a direction, because I couldn't tell you. Like fucking planets going around the sun. They're everywhere.
It's like, I get it, Roy.
Yeah, you have to roll dice to find where you are around the sun, and I'm not fucking doing that right now. But you get the pull away from planets.
Yeah.
There is a satiation. There is a constant clawing of feeling. And I think when Kaz comes in to wake you up, there is a very warm feeling that comes from him and Pez.
It's nice.
Like, it's almost like an extra connection.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Wonder why. Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah. All friends. All good, all quiet.
All clear so far. Watch out for this one, he's quite judgmental.
Is he now?
Yes.
And you're like back at the door thing, and he's over by the cave. I heard that.
Good. You little bitch.
I'm judgmental.
Kaz, are you good?
Yeah, just had a bit of a tap with him, that's all.
You're a bit tired and dizzy?
Yeah.
Need a nap?
Yeah, I need
All
a
right.
nap.
You'll get some sleep,
Thank you.
kiddo.
I will do.
Hello, Popty Pig.
Hello.
All right?
Yes, I am all right. How are you?
I am dandy.
Define.
Chipper, upbeat, and feeling fine.
Ah, you use words in place of efficiency.
Yes, that's exactly it, yes.
Very good.
Just so we're starting on a clear level, I will use an excessive amount of flowery and poetic language.
Understood. And you can make a perception check along with
Wonderful.
XP96.
Thank you. Oh, it's a bad start. 26.
22.
Cool. I think a lot of this is spent, you say something and they constantly like, definition. Directive.
And I'll quite happily be like, oh yes, it's this!
Right. I have never, and like you say something, you will reference something and they've never seen it, and then they ask you for another definition. There's a lot of this back and forth where they're like,
Like-
definition. definition.
Gladly, 100%. Oh, it's worth noting that during this time I'm kind of keeping an eye through my camera because I've got the whole thing that sees through the illusion.
You absolutely do. You do see that real storms come in place, and you see that the solar flare has somewhat diminished outside. You don't see any infrared. You don't see anything illusory apart from this hologram.
Yeah.
And over 2 hours, you are clear.
And I've got Pop Tip in a little, like, as we've been going, doing a little kind of, like, note on, right, these are the phrases that I use the most, these are their meanings, there you go.
Very good. And they, like, take the piece of paper and they sort of read it.
Cool beans.
Definition.
Cold legumes.
Are you in need of breakfast?
No.
Just
But
drops the paper.
Secondary meaning, everything's great.
Ah. And the paper's just like fluttering to the ground. They just let go of it. But your time unassailed by anybody.
Lovely.
Which leaves
Last
Sylph.
shift.
You're joining us, Lady Sylph? You can have more sleep if you want, I'm fine.
No, I said I would take the last shift. I'm more than fine too.
So well, you can join me, myself and Pop Pig.
Last 2 hours then. Feel free for everybody who is on it to make perception checks. That'll be Sylph, TJ, and XP96.
Not rolling good today.
You've not been rolling good for since we've landed on
yeah.
or since we landed at Fulbright even. It's been interesting.
Nah.
You're normally
23 for the old property.
28 for TJ.
26.
okay. I think you probably come out as he's like dropping this piece of paper on the floor and then like turns back to the mouth of the cave. You can see now like that nanite repair is starting to repair some of the paintwork and some of the melting that happened across their lower part of the spear that is their head. You can now give them back 60 hit points because over the next 2 hours, again, you are completely clear. Nothing.
Isn't it actually 18?
It is 18. You've done 6 hours so far. So over the course of 8 hours, nothing happened. But if there's anything we'd like to do on this 2 hours...
I think I mostly just spend time sitting on the crate looking outside, watching as Popty Ping and TJ just talk.
Yeah, and there is a lot
like...
of this definition and a lot of this. It's clearly a fucking robot who has never seen anything other than its protocols and probably this room.
Why do you want to know so much?
I just don't understand what it is they are saying.
I also have that issue sometimes.
Yes,
I'll write you a list as well, Lady Sylph.
They are new.
I am.
The Hastoki or everything?
Just new to me.
Do you wish to go somewhere else?
I do not have any wishes.
Have a goblin who could probably change that.
Is that the yellowish, orange looking?
That is that one, yes.
Yes. Also very interesting. They have a bear.
Is she around? I'm like looking
Yeah,
for
I've
where
got
a
the
bear's
joystick.
around.
And like he probably puts his finger to like, yeah, I don't even know. Does bear have a head? Like
Yeah,
a canine
it's very
head?
much like a canine sort of dog head.
So he like puts his hand like and like dink.
And the ears just kind of...
Well, you'll probably see much more of Qidel if you stay with us.
Yes, probably.
Hope you have a good learning capacity.
I mean, they can't smile. They just kind of like look at you with this. It's weird to have something so emotionless still like tilt its head at you like it's learning. Like something when you reprogrammed it just gave it that little bit more freedom.
How many of you are there? Do you know?
I believe there are around 50 units in
50?
in one tower.
In one tower?
That is a very niche in-joke.
Should start making all their new personalities.
Rollerblade press.
Please upload Sid to one of them.
No.
I believe there are 50 units within the tower.
That'll be carnage.
Interest? Do you know any residents within the tower, or have access to resident information?
No. My programs for maintenance either here or on the Aegis ring.
The what now?
You would know that to be so Qidel's a tower, so it's essentially separated into zones and rings. You would know that the Aegis ring, or the Aegis ring, is essentially the military defensive division. So it goes the Scorch Line, which is where you are on now, and the root works. So all of the moisture farming is done subterranean and then pumped up through the tower. Then that goes to the habitation ring, which comprises of the Undercity, the main habitation zone, and then the farming land, which is on the upper ring of the habitation. After that, it goes up into the Aegis ring, which is the... Oh, is it the Aegis ring? I'm going to double check, but I haven't got that wrong. Pretty sure it is. Habitation ring, then it goes up into the Aegis ring, which is military and security, so essentially like local patrols, security forces, right the way through to tower defences and stuff. So that's the level of which things like anti-aircraft weapons are on the outside of the tower, and where defence mechanisms, stuff like that, all kind of works from. That then leads up to the Nexus Labs. You would know this, Kaz, because your parents worked in the Nexus Labs. That then leads up to the Solar Crown, which is the pinnacle of the tower. Obviously, those particular areas are broken down into sub-sectors, but you know that the main ones would be that the habitation zone is, or the habitation ring is, the Undercity, the actual city, and then the farming is this ring above it that doesn't have like a centre, and it's like north, east, south, and west, and they've got different like farming lands that have been built inside the tower, and they use things like pulleys and windows to like reflect sunlight in for certain things. They've got biomes in the north one for creating humid atmospheres. The south one is like paddy fields and stuff. I think the east one was they created plains and would farm animals, whereas the west one was arable, which is like wheats and grasses. So it is a self-sustaining city within this tower, and at the moment you are just sat on the Scorch Line in the root works, essentially. You're barely having scratched the surface of going in there. But they say, I am programmed from the Aegis ring and then was sent down here for my duties, or my protocols.
So you know your way through the Aegis ring?
I have a specific access area that I would go to.
That's useful. Oh, also because you didn't say it earlier, anyone with the name Umbra, try not to shoot them either. Oh yeah.
Umbra. Noted.
Well, actually, let me show you a few people to kind of keep an eye out for. And I'm going to bring up Felina and Rag and be like, now, these two don't shoot on sight. Currently, status unknown. We might have to shoot them later, but in the first instance, hold back until I say so.
Understood.
Wicked.
And you guys can all complete a long rest?
Yes.
God for the
Midnight.
No, wakey's ups.
Get your full 8 hit points back.
Woo!
I got spells.
Alright, kiddies, what next?
probably that door.
The deer.
I'm not really sure what is exactly behind it, but
Where are we aiming to go? To find your parents? To
Well-
find the architect?
all of the above.
Yeah, architect.
I don't know what the architect-
Nimbus died. I mean, that's all we've got the arrest
That's the
warrant
ultimate
for.
goal.
Yeah.
But we're here to find the architect who knows where Nimbus died.
Yes.
Do you have any idea where they are?
Well, I would imagine there are at least Nexus Labs, if not maybe higher. He could be anywhere.
And your parents?
There are no.
Completely unknown. They might not even be in Qidel, I don't know.
I was wondering if it might be worth trying to find them and getting Sanctuary back up.
Well, there's obviously Felina and Rag, but also Zek and Zara, who we have not met yet, but could be troublesome, but could be not. I don't know. I don't know whether Felina and Rag have been able to speak to them.
have a message from Elena saying that she had told, or that they'd found out.
I don't remember it.
I think they got a message.
Let me look through rough notes. Shit.
Lean back in my chair. Just roll the way back. Yeah, it's a good lean. Dangerous lean.
DMing dirty.
Podcast listeners, Jack is looking through a
didn't make a
little
note.
brown notebook of pain scribbles.
I make such awful notes.
Yeah, they hurt.
I've looked back far enough.
I've looked back a whole page.
That's enough for me.
That was 7 episodes ago, I don't remember it. If I had received a message, he would have saved it on his datapad.
Now I've got to look back through notes.
Anyone in chat with notes?
Look
through them.
Didn't you have a
I
little
don't-
conflab with her and she was like, oh yeah, and Zara knows, and they told the architect? Like, wasn't that why we were
Oh
expected?
yeah, no, that does ring a bit of a bell.
Mm.
Oh shit.
Because wasn't that the whole point of why they knew we were here?
Why did I not make a note of that? I was just too into it.
We're just thinking about maths.
Too into it, yeah. So much math.
Subdivisions and
Fractions.
No, I think we should do the racing again.
Oh yeah!
did someone say space
Negative,
curling?
negative.
Space curling?
Hey.
Space
At
curling
least
is
that was
great.
just a strength check.
You liked space curling.
You did
Already
get a
good space curling.
Okay, they know you're alive and they know you're coming. Security Titan, Architect bolstering patrols around the base of Qidel. Second Zara have been sent to Skydock. We'll try and find out more for you.
I was right. I was right.
Well, right.
Episode 69.
Nice.
Commander Cody. It's time
So,
for
yes.
unrelenting slog.
So you want to make a hit straight away for the architect as fast as possible.
Either that or Fleena or Mag.
But we have no idea where they are.
I mean, you don't really know where the architect is either.
No. I've
It's reconnaissance,
Yeah.
essentially.
I've got their names in my ring, so if things are said, I can pick it up from certain distances.
Yep. How are we going to blend in?
I was about to ask
We're
how many
not.
non-stricts are in...
Maintenance.
Basically none.
Prisoners?
You will stand out.
Even me.
Do you know of any vents, ducts, or other back passages we can use?
Yes.
Ooh.
Depends on where you're trying to go.
Any that you would fit in?
Many of the service tunnels that I would patrol would take me back to the Aegis ring, but would be on the outer perimeter of the tower.
Would they need to blend in or just
They
us?
don't
They
need to
I
blend
don't
in.
know.
They could just
It's just us.
But if they get... Because they're kind of programmed not to... Well, just to tell the truth, isn't it? At the end of the day.
You don't often get tourists here then.
No.
No. If they're tourists, they're prisoners.
Teely starts putting his Hawaiian shirt away. Okay.
I'm sorry. This is not the time.
Well, maybe we should be prisoners. I mean, you can probably get away with it a little bit more.
It's the wings, I don't have the wings.
I know,
And the
buddy.
small
I
ears.
know.
Don't forget the small ears.
And the chin.
And the chin and that weird eye.
Yeah, that.
Oh, it's not trying to sleep.
He looks quite messed up for what
I
I
will not have this.
He just puts the combat down. He's like,
TJ can like push his Casway bit like this. I've worked too bloody hard on this boy to get his self-esteem up. So you all know to say nice things about him, okay? He's sensitive and he's going through a really tough time. So both of you, cut it out.
I
Only
like the
saying
way
the
you
truth.
dress.
Well, biologist.
Strike. Kaz, you look great.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't cry. Be strong.
You have perfectly average chin.
Just what
Not
everyone-
I'll
ears.
say that as a compliment from yourself. Thank you.
Do we go in?
But yes, We could always request that Pop T Ping finds us wherever we are going, and we attempt fire ducks to get somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, unless we just go for the prisoner thing straight away, have Pop T Ping be the one to secure us. We walk our way through, and if he is questioned, he can say that we're just being taken to the Aegis Ring.
They are prisoners. I'm taking them to prison.
There you go. Sorted.
Now,
Best line in that book.
Yeah, it is.
now with passion.
They're prisoners. I'm taking them to prisoners. Slaps cat. And another one of those if you've gone off again.
Again.
Slaps down, stabs me down 5 minutes.
No.
Right.
It's alright, his ego's...
Wasn't it 2d10 plus 20?
Yes, I'm not 2d10 plus 10.
There's another one of those when I killed him.
Oh.
I think that's it's a. At least gets us a foot in the door, and then we can vent it if things are looking dicey.
Just out of interest, where is the prison versus the Nexus? Is there one up there?
It should be in the Aegis Ring.
The brig is located in the Aegis Ring.
Okay,
So we
so
are-
at least we go in the right direction.
Yeah, so we're going to be pretty much slap bang in the middle of the tower.
Okay.
But first we have to go through 3 layers.
Like a king
Indeed.
of doom.
Yes.
Well,
What does having prisoners look like? Do we wear handcuffs?
Oh.
So I'd ideally not like to be restrained too much.
Can I do like a recall knowledge to see if I've seen people being taken?
Yeah, I think I'm not. You don't even need to do a recall knowledge. I think some people are shackled and restrained. Other people are knocked unconscious and taken. It depends how they're captured. Realistically, the XP-96 security droids very much will just pick somebody up by the scruff, like Maid grabbing skin as well, and will just carry them. So there's like no purchase. But then if it was a strict, they would have their wings bound and stuff like that. If it was, a smaller person, they would probably be like, restrained by this large droid.
Why are you
If it
looking at me
was
like
it depends completely on the circumstances.
Oh, I'm just thinking of Pez now, like uppies. Uppies.
Wings bound. If we put some wrapping around me,
yeah.
you might think that I have wings, they're just
There
bound.
we go. We can
And you're
do
not
that.
Kaz.
Yes.
Yeah. Put some. Yeah. Wrap you up.
Yep.
Or we could use this tarp to stuff it under your shirt to make it look as if your wings are under your shirt and wrap it up.
Are you sure? I'm sure we can make that work.
Yeah.
Stop
You're
finding
very
some material.
eccentric as a crew.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And then you just
For a
got
while.
bear tumbling in like.
Pez, could you whip up something that looked like manacles that are easy enough to unshackle?
Yes.
Should we be in a situation of needing it?
Yes. And I can make them sort of, I guess, like. Oh, what's it, like a false thing? Almost like you put them together and then they just come apart.
Magnets.
Yeah, give me an engineering check.
Do we have to do disguise check for Kaz, see if we can make the wings look right?
Yeah.
These are going to be
Yeah.
the best manacles you've ever had.
Oh!
Oh, no.
I'm not 20.
Is that your nat 20s?
Nat 20! Double nat 20s!
Oh.
So I think you make
Both of them are natural.
you make these magnetized shackles that look like they're together and would bind a person, and yeah, you can quite easily pull them apart, and they're enough to hold them that when your hands and your arms are limp, they stay together. But if you wanted to, you could absolutely just have these two cufflinks on. For you,
32 on disguise.
yeah, maybe you can take part of like the tarpaulin, or like maybe there's some like carbon rods and stuff that are part of the repair kits of the sandfly drones that would be here in these bays, and you kind of create these like. They are quite avian, but they're also quite angel-like in terms of like strict wings. And Kaz will take you through like the points, and you put this like tarp over it. It looks like you've been bound. Yeah.
Bam!
Bam.
Oh, those feathers
What's the total, by the way, with the nat 20?
32.
Yeah, cool.
Those feathers I pulled out from the strips at the beginning.
Just a couple
Stick
poking
them
out.
out on the edges.
There we go.
That is great.
This is my Magnus Opus.
You've done a very good job, Gigi.
Thank you.
Almost feels like I have wings again.
You can't be crying, Kaz.
Leave him alone.
It was a question.
Get in the corner.
He looks vulnerable. It's a time for him to express his emotions.
It's Kaz. Let him be. We don't want to pull the plug too hard, otherwise it'll be fucking falls over here, won't it?
I'm sure he'll experience emotions later.
Didn't know there was a magic.
experiences right now.
Kaz!
I didn't realise you had that magic graph tech inserted.
Use part of your wings like down your tears. Don't cry, don't cry.
Cut him.
Cool, so we've got
Yeah,
bound,
I'm bound.
shackled.
Cuffed.
Yeah. I think we're pretty much as good as we can be.
Cool. Lovely.
Let's open that door. Try to get it under my bound.
You don't know the code.
Well, can you provide the code?
I can open the door.
Yes, please.
And you watch as their finger moves back, and there's like a slicing stick, and they put it into what looks like a keyhole section. Very Star Wars at this point. And like it twists and stuff. You see that great stone door. I mean, we're talking like 50 foot wide, 40 foot tall. Those two stone counterweights that have been cut, no longer necessary, covered in sand, and you just watch as this now automated stone door starts to lift. And as it does so, you feel that pressure change of stagnant air meeting the moving air of outside, and the dust does that thing where it kicks up at both sides and creates little dust devils from the spirals at the right and left. And eventually, it stops. And the room ahead of you is vast but also dark. Who wants to shout and claim that they have dark vision?
Dark vision.
I got low light.
So you guys can all see in grayscales for 60 to 120 feet depending on what you've got, and you see that this is an ancient hall. And that air is dark and cooling, and the stark contrast to the scorched, eternally sun-facing outside. The shade in here is somewhat of a deep reprieve from the burning heat of Verces. You step foot into it, and the lights from XP96 light up. And you can see the moving shadows, and you feel this. You just know it's ancient. You can just sense how old this place is. And it smells damp, which is a very stark contrast to just beyond that threshold. These halls, you would know, Kaz, are the halls of an ancient race no longer present here in the tower. The race used natural caverns as an inspiration to structure the internal aspect of these layers. Full columns of stone reach from floor to what can only be described as a ceiling in this large stone circular room. A strange concave ceiling of brass-coloured materials or metal can be seen past various stone walkways that stretch from one side of this large cavernous space to the other. Like looking at the underside of and we're talking it's 150 foot up, the underside of a sphere through an intricate web-like structure. This place is a strange mixture of natural beauty and architectural intrigue. Yet this metallic and otherworldly ceiling is hard to keep focus on. You think you see ley lines and writing, but as you try and focus on such things, you find yourself looking in other places and unable to focus. Yet you do see at the center of it an opening around 40 foot in diameter that seems to lead up. But because of the angles in which you are trying to see, cannot discern the height in which it climbs through that passageway. Around this space, starting at ground level, many dark, circular tunnels at differing heights all venture off from this area. The walkways above you that reach from one side to the other hang like spider webs inside a funnel. There's stretching rock walkways thinned in the middle. It's sections as they look like a delicate yet intricate set of strings connecting the opposite sides of this circular structure. This webway, like I say, goes up for about 150 feet before hitting that, the underside of a sphere. The air in here is humid, not uncomfortable, but definitely offers moisture that's not present outside those giant doors. It's cooling, and for you, Kaz, you must know it's from one of the many moisture farms in the rootworks or the base of this tower. I'm going to close the door now.
Okay.
Yes, please do.
And that door starts to come down until eventually you're left in the darkness. Everybody give me a perception check, please.
24.
15.
13.
22.
Cool. You know those tunnels lead down to the root works. Like many of them lead down into these like large lakes and pools of cave water drawn up from deep beneath the crust of the planet. You know that there are like mechanical pumps and pipeworks that take water up to the upper levels, and you start to see that around the walls you can see where like the natural rock meets these like large pipes that obviously must carry water up through the tower. You notice those walkways above you lead to these egg-shaped hollows in the walls. Like each one seems to connect to some kind of half hole that doesn't seem to go very far. It just seems to be this depression in the wall. Who rolled the highest there?
Bobby.
What was the
24.
24. No.
It was 25.
Probably was, yeah.
What would you like to do?
Whatever the quickest direct
Less
route.
people.
Yes, the least traffic, but quickest route to above.
Most of the streets, and you see like XP like look up, would take the flying tunnels. Obviously, none of you can do such things. We must take the security tunnels.
Okay.
Please lead the way, you know them better than I do.
Very
Sure.
well. And you see they start to work their way across this room, and this room is like 100, 150 foot wide. And as you start making your way across the room, you see that there are like areas of the dirt and the stone that have like different textures, and you can see like maybe moisture has hit them. And in your like grayscale of vision, it's very dark.
I assume we're going through the middle of the room.
Currently at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. Carry on.
Can I take another look around to see if there's anyone watching?
Yeah, give me a perception
Or
check.
cameras, any of that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Much better. 33.
Okay, well those dark spots are blood, and you can just, I think as you start to move across the room, there's like a respite in steps where maybe like you guys hit a beat and you all step at the same time, there's like a pause of silence and you just hear like a of breath somewhere in the room.
If I hear that, I'm going to sort of stand still, look around and see if I can see the source of this gasp.
Give me a medicine check.
It is what I think it is.
These dice.
Natural one. For a 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely hear the breath of something coming in. Like for a minute, you're like, is that maybe like a draft in one of the tunnels? Is it, you know? But it just in this beat, you were like, that's definitively blood on the floor, and then you hear this like, and it's like someone like clutching at breath.
Okay. We've got someone nearby.
I do not see anybody.
Someone's wounded, I can hear them. Did you see the blood and have one to it?
Oh,
Like the light goes down, and like, when their light hits the ground, you can see like the sand is like a mottled. It's already like a darkish brown anyway, but you can see it's like really stained and like it's thick and viscous, and like it's had time for the sand to absorb it in those areas.
can we take a look around for like signs of life, or like if there's a trail going from that blood?
Yeah, so everybody can give me a perception check at this point. I mean, yours was a medicine check, you got the nat 1, so actually the perception check will still stand at 35. You can see that like there has been some kind of struggle here.
Yeah.
Somebody or something has had some kind of conflict and combat, and you can see that there are, and you're not unaccustomed to blade splatter. And I think Roos and you, I mean, I'll roll for Roos. It's called. Oh, 19 on the dice. You Roos, like, he just like nods at you and he's like, yeah, maintenance. And
I certainly agree.
yeah, I think between you all, you start to see like around the cusps of the room, and it's probably closer to an area that leads to like this slightly larger opening. There are bodies.
Is anyone watching?
You don't see anybody watching
Okay.
between you all. You definitively don't. You can all roll perception checks to have another look around to see if anybody is watching you.
27.
27.
32.
30.
Okay, cool. There are 5 bodies, and you don't see any drones, you don't see any cameras, you don't see any other people here. And like XP will like spring their torch onto this kind of like collective group, and they are spread out in this area, but they're not like all over the 150-foot chamber. They're quite localized to this like one entranceway, and you get that sense of moisture and that cold slight draft that comes up from there. And then you look to the right, and up against one of the columns you see a Strix. All of these Strix are wearing what looks like maintenance kind of gear. They are wearing work suits, and they have like engineering tools on them and things like spanner screwdrivers. They have just been slaughtered. They are in a bad way. But this one that's like leaning up against the rock, you see their wings are like just completely limp out by their side. They are completely soaked in blood. You see that like their right arm is basically hanging off and has probably like just about stopped bleeding. They are well, let's give you their description. They're like an older Strixian male. They're sort of in and around their 40s, 50s maybe. They have, apart from being like covered in blood, they have these like solid white eyes and this like elongated strong neck. Then they have this very matted with blood, but you can see like it's grey with speckles of black hair. And there's like this shallow every couple of seconds to their chest, like they are on death's door.
Oh no.
When you say slaughtered, are we saying animal attack? Are we saying guns? Like what does...
That sounds like a medicine check.
Do you need the end?
I don't think it would help there. No, 1 for 11.
11, okay. Other people can make that check as well, I think. What?
Yeah, please do.
For yourself, I think, have you seen much carnage like this in your life?
Maybe it would have been quite some time ago.
Yeah, and I think even with floor 184, a lot of that was so sporadic, it didn't have like a set thing, but it's interesting. So you kind of like, wow, okay, I don't know. Like, you tell me how that like looks in terms of you being like, I don't know what this is.
Probably just like kneeling down, looking at whatever these wounds are, but sort of weirdly enamored with the hanging off arm, but more like, still hanging on.
And they like see you and they're like, what did everybody else roll?
11.
I haven't rolled yet because I want to go and just help them.
Yeah, I mean, you can still make a medicine check in the area to be like, what the fuck has happened here? What do you roll?
I got a 20, so as I'm kind of coming over, seeing the wounds, I'm kind of in that.
It's clean slashes.
This is what needs to be patched up.
26.
Yeah, so these are like proper blade wounds. These are like either something with very sharp talons or a sword or a knife or something. And like, they are wide open. It's like the crew that is dead, like the remainder of the crew that's dead that's not this one dude, it's not just an open wound, like the flesh curls away from the wound like it's not supposed to close.
With that 20, would it be like, with the wound, would there be any sort of like burns to the skin, almost like it's been sort of done with like acid or fire.
It's like Bruce's solar.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Definitely not.
so nothing like that.
If anything, it's the wounds themselves have been done by a blade, and I think, did you roll a 20 total?
20 total.
Yeah,
No, that's
a pretty
fine.
vicious blade
Yeah, that's
of
what.
some kind, or claw. 26. Yeah, you know, you've had certain swords and stuff, and some of them you're like, that's a sword slash. It's no burn marks like Roos's, nothing that says, solar energy or anything like that. But then some of the other ones it's done with a more vicious blade, like a hooked blade or a curved blade or something. Something that's designed to leave wounds and tear through muscle and sinew and bone. And you see this arm hanging off, and you're like, this guy took a wound. Like a proper, rolled on the table, lost his arm wound. And
I want to try and patch him up. Try and keep him together a little bit. We'll try and talk to him. If he has any ability to speak words, sorry.
I'll try and help.
so you...
I'll also try and help.
Yeah.
You're there first, and he sees you, and he's like... very much like Terminator 2, the guy's there, and he's got one thing, he's like...
Take
don't
a
get
breath.
You come across, and there is a look of... it's hard to tell with the blood as well, and Strix's eyes don't have pupils, and their head is trying to turn, but they can't quite see around. And I think you approach to go heal them as well, and you see them trying to push their heel against the stand. And they're breathing
Trying to get away. Sort of thing.
yeah.
I'm going to try and reassure him. No, I'm here to help. It's my specialty. Tell us what happens, and I can help you. Whilst I'm trying to sort of bandage him up a little bit.
So tell me what you're doing medicine-wise.
I don't think the med patch is useful because I think it's when you're untrained, isn't it? It's when you use the med patch.
It gives you an extra thing when you're circumstanced.
So I've got.
I think the med patch is for when you're making checks for
It allows you to attempt a medicine check untrained with a +10 bonus. So I'm not untrained, I'm already trained.
Yeah.
I've got a medkit basic and a medkit advanced.
Does it use the medkits up if you...
I think they get a certain amount of usages. I want to say it's 10.
Yeah, I've got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone alright with me using the advanced?
Is he going to be long for this world?
I think we have a duty if we come across someone who's struggling to at least help them.
This isn't normal.
So the medkit advanced. The advanced medkit adds more advanced and specialised tools and diagnosis for treating ailments. The advanced medkit can be used with the same way as a basic medkit, but the DC to treat deadly wounds is only 20.
That's the one we want, really.
The basic medkit has a spray, antiseptic bandages and handling instruments designed to examine, explore and treat common ailments. The basic allows you to attempt a DC 25 medicine check to treat deadly wounds. And
It's a 20 if you use advanced.
wounds. Starfinder, which should be under...
Information at this point more vital, so at least we know what we're going in for, or going into, than going in blind.
It's also a decent thing to do.
That goes, yes.
Whilst many restrictions are... Well, I wouldn't say many. There are a few restrictions that go against the ways, the code. It's just like any other race. There are innocent lives. I believe this is one.
Yes.
This is the way.
Nice. So treat deadly wounds.
The advanced.
You can use medicine as a skill to restore hit points to a living, wounded creature. They are definitely wounded. This takes 1 minute, and the DC is based on the medical equipment used, your kit. If you succeed at the check, you restore 1 hit point per CR of the creature you are treating. If you exceed the DC by 5 or more, you add your intelligence modifier to the amount healed. A creature can receive this treatment only once every 24-hour period, unless it is delivered in a medical lab. So,
I'm awesome. I'll just hold the arm up,
you
but
are
just as you please.
DC 25.
Are you aiding as well? Or are you just...
No, I'm gonna be with the guy being like, you got this, you're doing so good, come on buddy, stay with us.
37.
Okay, smash it. So, they are in your CR1. They regain 1 hit point, but you manage to like stem the bleeding, you like tourniquet the arm, you manage to patch up and fill some of those horrid looking wounds that like go across their chest, their neck. They're pretty messed up, but you manage to essentially stop them from dying, and they're like, and their breathing starts to return to like a normal rate. Thank you.
Deep breaths. Who or what attacked you?
I thought you were one of them.
Oh no.
I'm assuming it's one of us, Strix.
Yeah.
They look military.
And you see, he's like looking at your feet. Yeah. Didn't have feet like the rest of us. Feet like you.
Cool.
Well, there are 4 of them by any chance. 3.
And like you guys start talking and they look terrified. And they're like, 2.
Okay.
Why attack you?
I don't know. They were supposed to guard us. We had to check the water supply for a contagion. We were sent down. 2.
Are you able to describe what they look like?
Yeah. And like they're trying to look around, but like Strix like sort of have to look around with their whole head. It's very avian in nature, and they're struggling to move. They wingless, but not they cybernetics. Not unheard of. Male and female.
It could be either.
I'm gonna get up the image of Flamerag that I showed Pop to Ping earlier.
Fair enough.
Did it look like these 2 or different?
Get a recall knowledge check. Lovely 10. No.
Right.
No, they were. He's very big. The male is smaller.
Sick.
Why, with all the bodies, why all the attacks?
We're part of a maintenance crew that works in the Undercity on the pumps. We've been told that there was a possible contagion designed to attack people with cybernetics. And you see, like, his fingers have got, like, cybernetics on them, and parts of the body, and Kaz has got cybernetics. I think for you, Kaz, you know that the Strix, cybernetics is it's throughout.
It's the way of life.
Yeah, and it's supposed to target people with cybernetics. We were just told to run tests and make sure that the pumps were all turned off and not providing until all the lab work was back. We didn't even get down there.
Were these 2 people that attacked you with you the entire time, or did they just jump you?
Yeah, they were our escort.
Right.
Who's said to have caused this contamination?
I said, we don't know. We had word from the council this was a high priority job to check.
I think it's a screen architect. He's got control of Zek and Zara. Killed off the people that can actually find the answer.
What happened the moment before these people attacked? Did their demeanour change in any way that you noticed, or was it just sudden?
We were about to head down into the farms, into the root work, when I don't know, I just heard a comm chime, and next thing I know, they were all over us. Thank you. And you see, like, his eyes are like cold, and I think he's still somewhat delirious and doesn't really know what to do. He's lost a lot of blood. And he's just sort of like in and out of it.
You're going to be able to get back on your own.
No. I just... My wife. I want to go home. And like his like hand is like just trying to reach for things, but like there's nothing really that he's like reaching for. God.
Can I ask what your name is?
Krieger. Krieger Tog. And he's trying to like take a. He's trying to like swallow and gulp.
What's your wife's name? Krieger.
I actually have it written down.
Okay.
I'm watching Beta.
Oh.
Azalin.
Azalin.
Succulent root. And like he's like starting to go like in and out of consciousness.
You just rest, Krieger. You don't worry. We'll make sure everything's okay.
Has he got like a data pad or key card or anything like that on him? Almost like
A perception check.
30.
Cool. There is a smashed data pad on each one of these. It's like specifically targeted.
Good job.
Then there is. I mean, obviously they're all fucking mangled. You can see it says Krieger on his like work clothes, and they're pretty humble work clothes. They're not like armored or anything like that. They are none of them are wearing armor. They are just in
Overalls, essentially.
yeah.
Listen, we can't take you with us. I'm sorry about that.
Can you take me home?
We could have XP carry him.
Does it look like he's not long for this world?
That's what I was just thinking.
He's pretty messed up. You guys have pretty much saved his life. So, I mean, as long as he gets medical treatment, he should be fine. But I mean, he's obviously badly wounded.
Yeah.
You've used the medkit on him already. Might as well.
Yeah, we've come this far.
Or we put him out of his misery now.
What? No.
We're not there.
No.
We're not there yet.
No.
Don't worry. You're fine.
And then leave him down here in the damp. Let the wounds get infected. Who knows when he'll be found?
Move past killing people, though. Move past.
And then we have to take this room by room, space by space.
See where we get to.
Opti Ping, can you carry Krieg
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
gently?
I'm quite strong.
Indeed,
You
you
like,
Indeed,
do
you are.
like pick them up.
Right. I think we're going to sort of take point and see what's through other spaces.
Yes.
Where are we taking him?
Do you know where there's a medical facility?
It's got to be somewhere in the Undercity. It's got to be somewhere.
The Undercity is more maintenance tunnels and pump houses. The Habitation Ring will have places of medicine, and also the Aegis Ring, and also the Nexus Lab.
Let's go to the farming. Have it.
Sure.
The next one up.
With my Tinkerer, would you say his equipment's in broken condition, or is it just completely gone?
Oh, it's trashed. It is like properly shattered apart.
That's fine.
We're still in the root works at the minute, right?
Yes, you would literally just move beyond the door and still in the
And then the
room.
next one above is the Undercity, but that's not the habit bit. The habit bit's above the Undercity.
So yeah, you're in the rootworks and in like the scorch line of the rootworks, which is essentially where things then go down. You've got this like 150-foot chamber above you where you have all these like walkways and then this like flying tunnel. Then you know that XP96 was like, there are security tunnels that will take us up to essentially the Undercity. The Undercity, you know, is like maintenance tunnels and pipe work rerouting, and it's called Undercity because it's kind of like the sewers, but everything's done via plumbing and pipe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's where like most of the engineers and maintenance people will think. There are certain people that live there, but these are like the dregs of society that maybe have been outcast by society.
Very much like the bottom of Absalom.
Yeah, very much so, but less people. Then that would then lead up to Undercity, then would lead to the aviaries and to the fledgling aviaries and to the
Farming.
No, go to habitation first. Farming is actually above habitation. And you know that like the actual way that it works. So I'm just going to get the. So there are like residential.
Take it a level at a time.
Yeah, so there are like residential blocks and habitation ring. There are like shops, schools, parks, farming paddocks, and like quarters. But like the main city area itself, there is Midspire, which is like the main central district. Then there is like a pool of water that runs around the outside of that, which falls from what's called the Vale, which comes off from the southern paddies and then falls like a waterfall around that central plaza. And then the outer district of that city is where probably things like security tunnels and also worm tunnels lead up to things like the aviaries and up to the outer part of the city. And although most people would fly up that ring above you, that open area only leads to somewhere in Undercity, you would still have to take a ballworm tunnel up to the outskirts of the habitation ring.
Yep. Okay.
Well, if the nearest medical bay is habitation, why don't we make head for that?
Yeah. We'll get to go through there anyway, I think. So.
Take him home.
Drop him off.
Home.
Yep, where?
I want to go home.
Shush. We're sorting this.
Just slowly smother him.
Shut the fuck up.
I think everyone will be on the lookout for more like this. I don't think this is likely to be an isolated incident, given what was outside and in.
Nope, but I'm glad that we helped them.
Indeed, yes.
Right.
Onwards.
Yep. Popsy, which direction?
This way, and they start to like walk,
Cool.
and it's very, but their arms are pretty stable holding this person, and they take you to what is a ballworm tunnel, and you see this like 40-foot circular tunnel that starts to like lead up at a very gentle angle. There are no lights on it or anything like that, and you can see like the sides of the tunnel are all gouged in these like long scorch marks that something has literally bored its way through it.
Like a worm.
Exactly like a worm, which pre-stream you were like, and I was like, bear that in mind, because they literally are the ballworm tunnels, and they are called the ballworm tunnels, and you would know that when the Strix inhabited this tower, they were not the first people to inhabit this tower. Another avian race had it before them, but because the fledglings of the Strix couldn't fly, they had to create tunnels for them to walk through, and also things like, you know, other needs for people that aren't always flying.
Thank you.
So they had these ballworms create tunnels pretty much up the outer layers of this tower, and these are used as both maintenance and security tunnels. You good?
Yep.
Just think about worms.
I am thinking about some of my favourite worms.
Name one.
So, based on what you're saying, did you know that one of the peer issues in the UK is caused by a worm called the boring piddock? Because it bores into both metal and into wood, and it became a real issue during the Victorian times.
It's not much fun at parties.
That is a boring piddock.
There you go.
Boring.
I'm so sorry, you kept talking about boring worms, and I just kept thinking about boring piddocks.
Meanwhile, I'm over here thinking about drag queens going, not the worm!
Which is also
See, I also
during
was
this
Yeah.
yeah, you start to move your way up these tunnels, and it is clear. It is completely devoid of anyone, but you know that's quite the normal case down here. Most things are automated in the route work, so it's just a case that, you know, maintenance engineers would only be needed if something were to go wrong. And from the sounds of it, that's sort of what had happened, and they were sent down and then set upon for who knows what reason. However,
Make our way up that tunnel.
you get to, and it's a good couple of 100 feet worth of elevation at this like gentle incline and curvature, until you pass through into what you know to be Undercity. You know this because as soon as you hit the apex of this tunnel, it flattens out and you can see that pipes come in from the walls and then start running across the ceilings. There is still this damp humidity in the air, but it's warmer in here. It's not as warm as outside or the cave downstairs, but it's definitely somewhere where plumbing has done its job essentially. There's like condensation. A lot of like the ground is stone, but there's still like sand and mud in places as well. Going up that one.
I could name another favourite worm.
Give us a word.
Go and give us a word.
I love a worm that terrorises aquariums everywhere. So a lot of aquariums have to like filter out their sand when they've got new sand in, and there have been cases where aquariums have, they've got their really expensive fish. These are like public aquariums, and then like their fish have all been disappearing, and they're like, oh my god, is someone stealing the fish? So they set up like a load of cameras, and what they had is, because they hadn't filtered their sand, they had a bobbit worm. Which is one of the largest extant worm species we have. It's a massive marine worm that can get like 10 metres long, and it looks like a sand. It does look like a dune because it has massive mandibles, and it just sits in the sand.
Oh, they're like the snatcher worms.
Yeah.
Fish gone.
Oh, have you got one?
It looks like a Leviathan out of like Subnautica.
Yeah.
Like the proper
they
latch on.
They have mega mandibles, and they just sit there waiting for things to come up. They're like proper laser chads.
I like
wow.
They're freaky as fuck.
Oh, you've got me on worms now. I will come up with all the worm facts.
You move up into this part of the maintenance tunnels of Undercity, and that way.
Okay.
Follow your direction, pretty good.
And
Trust him.
I mean, here's is a life debt. That's gonna count for something.
I think we're okay. Yeah.
Where are you trying to go?
Well, you just told us to
Take
go
you
there.
home.
Right?
You weren't passing the sea.
No.
No.
We know.
You need to take the old Avery.
Okay.
That way.
Okay, that way.
Yep.
It's the old Avery.
There's a handy dying man we found.
And with that, we're going to take a 7-minute break. We will be back after this short intermission. See you in a minute. As we all nom through biscuits. I actually ate some this time. Oh, it was nice. Got quite a few of the party rings. Had a good time. Great time was had. As we recounted the Mighty Boosh. You guys all watch the Mighty Boosh, or is it,
Way back when.
Yeah.
It was way back
Jesus,
then.
piece of meat.
It's such a particular sense of humour, though.
It is. It was very, very... I think it's more niche now.
Yeah.
But like, it was like something new and exciting at the time.
Most like comedies and stuff have the laugh track. And you don't notice it until it's gone. And then you're like, I don't know, I can't find this funny. If you're used to watching comedies with laugh tracks, then it's gone and you're like, what's this awkward silence?
I hate a laugh track.
Yeah.
I hate it. I fucking hate it as well.
I was like,
agree. I
don't you tell me when to fucking laugh, you fake piece of shit.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like when you watch the Boosh or Gotham Rangy's Dark Place and stuff like that, and they don't have it, and it's such a particular style. So like, and one of my favourite lines, I took it to the staff room with the coffee was complimentary, and it's just like, it's one of those things that goes over your head, and then like a second later you're like,
It's the little things in that, like the body movements, particularly from like Liz, and she's like, yes, I'm a doctor and a woman.
yeah. And like the Skip of the Eye Child episode.
Oh my
God. And like the poor guy, like he's like, I wasn't supposed to be in that scene. I told them I didn't want to do it.
Now I said to Garth, I said, I'm not an actor. It's my favourite fucking line. It's just so
I
good.
love the moon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm the moon.
I'm the moon.
Yeah, from the Boosh. Just every time I'm
So
I have the mood.
innocent. I have the moon.
And it's like one of those things that I feel like series 1 and 2 I think had its very cool thing, and I think series 3 definitely like smashed it out of the water. But then like when you took apart Julian and Noel, I don't think they were as good on their own. They just weren't as good. James has no clue what we're talking about.
Just vibing.
Yeah, he's too young for it. Old BBC Three at like 2 in the morning.
Oh my
Rip
god,
BBC
yeah.
Three.
It'd be like there was a really fucked up show called Monkey Dust. I don't know if you remember that.
I didn't enjoy Monkey
It was
Dust.
the first proper fucked up show that was like, oh wow, they're going there, and it was fucked. But I remember laughing my head off at it because it was something new, and like it pushed the boundaries. And I think at the time I was really into things like South Park and Family Guy, and at the time I was like, oh yeah, these guys really pushed the boundaries, and that thing went fucking out there, and it was bad. It still only really pointed fun at like society as a whole and how fucked up we are, but it was messed up. It was a really fucked up show. Then it was like Family Guy, American Dad, The Mighty Boosh, and it was just like I would spend hours and hours awake watching these fucked up shows.
No lasting issues.
No lasting issues whatsoever. Everything's fine. So BBC Three.
BBC Three.
Oh, what a distant memory now.
Yeah. I don't even watch the BBC anymore.
I don't watch live TV whatsoever.
No, right? I watch live Twitch TV and that's about it. And sometimes, at the moment, I'm obsessed with skateboarding videos because I want a skateboard. To the point where now I'm like, I also want a ramp in the garden because I totally am going to be fine as a 36-year-old.
You've got like half a pond there. You can turn it into a half pipe.
Honestly, I'm already ideal. I'm trying to get into a bowl to love bowl skating. I used to. And now I'm just obsessed with it, and like I feel like it's like ADHD things kicked in where like I need to now do it to experience putting my back out again. So they go, yeah, remember you're not. Richard's a prime example. I literally said to him, I was like, why are you even testing lifting a TV? We are not spring chickens anymore. And then I was like, but I want to get a skateboard. And I won't listen to his red flag, and I will
Pursue it anyway.
Oh, of course I will. Yeah, you're going to see me in bandages and stuff. But we need to jump back into Qidel, and obviously, you know, you've taken out this patrol on the outside. You've then gained a security vault. You've managed to get a rest. You then come into the root works, and you found a massacred group of Strix who are supposed to be working on essentially the plumbing here. And you find one survivor. Any thoughts of like what's going on?
He's a survivor.
Should have just shooted him.
I don't think this contagion exists.
No.
Yeah, it does seem
It's a
like
plot,
it's a
sure.
ruse, but what were these guys
Yeah.
could potentially have checked that is actually
Yeah, or what did they know or were privy to? Maybe they've seen something they shouldn't have seen.
Something living in the water.
The thing is,
there literally could be something in the water, or
they got set on the job in the first place, though.
But that was just like maybe to send them
That was the council.
away.
to put them in that position.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
And then it was like,
well,
they
if they didn't know any
like,
better, why
that was
make that thing in the first place by then getting them down there?
Unless the council's telling them one thing and then whatever the
There's
other
some other
strips are
group.
doing.
Or maybe the architect is trying to create some fear around something to herd people into an area.
or get
Or
like
into a mentality.
do the horror gore can't trust the council anymore. Oh no. Whoopsie doodles.
Back in my notes, sorry, I'm really fucking struggling to get words out there. You said the Sun Council is what I know to be.
Yes.
In my notes says the Airy Council.
Sun Council, Airy Council, because this is called the Airy to the Sun.
Yeah.
The Airy Council is still the same thing. They're just known
Just check.
locally as various different names, but they are essentially the Council of Qidel, and the Airy Council, the Sun Council.
Synonymous.
Alright.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Clarification.
It's still the same thing.
Part of me is like, are they sleepers? Are they aware of what they were doing even? But probably, yeah, we're aware of what they were
I
doing.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
Just innocent maintenance.
Innocent.
Knowing Zek and Zara, they were quite hardcore.
Yeah,
Like,
in it.
they had their mission. No, I can do it.
They live hardcore.
Because
You look like School of Rock today.
Thanks. I was afraid that I was a little bit too sort of 90s mummy today in my
Tell
sandy
Ian he's
beige.
tacky and you hate
You're
him.
tacky, I hate you.
I love that kid so much. Like, yeah, you're tacky and I hate you. Okay, we'll talk about this afterwards. But you heal up or stop this Krieger, this maintenance engineer, from bleeding out. You managed to patch up the med kit and with some medicine checks. And I mean, even at this point, restoring hit points to them, I will tell you that they're still going to be in and out of it. But they want to go home. While also, you guys are wanting to get up through the tower, and you get your security robot to pick them up and carry them, and you talk about getting up through the maintenance tunnels, and Krieger, which XP has also already pointed out, you are going to stand out like a sore thumb. You are not Strix, and this is a secular society. Minus Kaz, who looks like he's sort of bound up in a tarp, and Sylph, who somewhat looks kind of like a Strix with their bandages on and the dune armor that they did before you even got into the mouth of the cave. You still have a Hostoki, which nobody here has probably seen or heard of, and a goblin, which is a monster. Let's not forget what goblins are.
And it's like tank of a droid behind you.
Yeah, with a droid and a large chicken man who probably fits in the most here with this avian race. So, this is pointing out to you that you are going to stand out like a sore thumb, and Krieger in this delirious state is like, so don't take those tunnels. Take the older aviaries. And they lead you in a different direction through...
We'll take his direction from now.
Undercity.
Otherwise,
Such time.
such time as shots of fire.
Yeah. Drop.
You know, Kaz, that there is a central area to Undercity called the Brass Ring. The Brass Ring connects to the Rootworks. That's probably where that tunnel that leads up from the centre is. And you can tell that Krieger has directed XP and yourselves away from the Brass Ring, probably because that is the biggest nexus point on this floor. But it only connects this floor to the Rootworks, so it's down to whether or not there are maintenance people there, or to how busy it is. You end up going through several chambers, different corridors, all with these massive pipes that you can tell are pumping water all over the place. And they crawl their way along walls and parts of the ceiling, carrying power and water to different places. The stark contrast between the natural formations of this tower and the clearly more modern, sophisticated plumbing speaks to the thought that must have been put into surviving this scorched lands and how to keep its secluded citizens alive in a barren land. Sewage processing machines, storage bins, and many panels bless you of great engineering import. If you do that again, you are out. Can be seen throughout the section of this tower. Yet, how vast it is as well, and how wide does this network spread? You hear the sounds of people working as hisses and pressure and the call and response of people belaying orders or questioning echoes through these vast tunnels. There are many corridors and entranceways heading off all around this Undercity, and it really is an Undercity. You can almost see with as you move through sections where there are the foundations of buildings above and walkways, and it's interesting to see that kind of architecture from underneath. But having not been here in so long, I don't think you quite know where you are. Until you're taken to a secondary bore worm tunnel, and you walk up the slope and out of a lower section of the wall into a large, tall chamber. A chamber that is something ancient, and again, you can all feel it. Not just see it, everything in the aura in here tells you this is... from a time long ago and built with immense purpose. It's cold, and the echo of the smallest footprint on the stones below chime like bells through this chamber. There is a cool, gentle wind constantly blowing, but you're not quite sure where from, and the sound of a deep melodic tone sounds like a horn or instrument being played. This constant and this hum through the chamber. There are humanoid-sized hollows in two opposing walls, the wall that you come out of and the one opposite it. And they have that same egg-like shape to them, and they're humanoid size, but they all have like a bar that goes across the bottom of them. You know these are perches. You've been in aviaries before and in the fledgling aviaries that the Strix built, but this is pre-Strix. This is whatever avian race was here before. And you can see why the Strix probably fit in so well here when they occupied this tower. The other two walls have great brass irises firmly shut, and a set of similar iris are shut in the floor and the ceiling. Yet the ceiling's one has a platform underneath it, like a small walkway that could carry a person around the top iris's circumference. As you look around, you can see that all of these like perches and these hollows, it's almost like a beautiful natural formation, but you can tell it's been carved by some avian creatures. And for them to all stand on these bars and perches. The other notable feature is that in the central iris on the floor, in pretty much the center of the room, is a dais. And as you enter, a voice chimes out across the wind, and you all hear it in a language that you know you do not speak, yet you understand it.
Oh.
The winds of Qidel will carry you. As the first warm breath wakes the dawn, then crowns the zenith under sun, then sighs where daylight fades and yawns, as the last of midnight's winds raise us all. Kaz, for you, on entering this chamber, your mind is instantly taken back to your fledgling days. Although you have not been in this particular aviary, the similarities to the other ones is enough to draw your mind away, as the room around you dissolves and you find yourself back in a memory. Remember the updraft. Warm air rises. Feel it, let it into your feathers. And you see your father smiling at you as you look up at him, his head looking around the aviary. Not the one you walked into with your friends, but one of the few that you learned to fly in. You may not be able to control the elements or your surroundings, but you can control yourself. And you see their head like looking around in this very bird-like way. And you see your mother in the center of the room, her outstretched wings helping us to slowly descend like some sort of angel in a slipstream of air, being channeled from an open tunnel in the ground beneath her. She lowers herself down to a perching bar that stretches across this 20 or so foot gap in the center of this aviary. Come. She beckons to you as she lands daintily on the bar, her wings folding in behind her so as not to catch the updraft beneath. You see her taloned feet cling to the bar, stopping her from being blown away. You begin to climb yourself onto this perch bar and make your way to her. I need a reflex save, please.
Okey-dokey. 10.
You step out onto the perch and begin to move over to the opening and instantly feel that this strong upwards gust of wind, and it is enough to rip one of your wings from your back and force it to open, ruffling your feathers and causing you to lose your balance. A foot is lost from the perch and it goes up into the air as this upstream just blasts at you from underneath. Your mother manages to grab your hand and stabilize you and plant your foot, and she begins to pull your wing down and you can tuck it away again. Smiling at you, her head tilts slightly with that strict bird-like mannerism to get a proper look at you. And she smiles, and you can hear her clearly over the strong upstream as though you were sat in a quiet chamber together. It's easy to let go, but self-control, freedom comes with the need to control yourself. We cannot always control our surroundings, so we must be able to control what we can do with ourselves in those situations. She turns so that you both now stand gripped to this bar, but facing a large opening high up and across the room, inaccessible to anybody who didn't have the gift of flight. Look, and she points to that high-risen cave mouth. That's your landing spot, but getting there will not be easy. You need to let go this perch and allow the winds to carry you high. And she looks up to the ceiling, and as you look up, You see stalactites and jagged rock formations sticking downwards like hungry teeth waiting for you to just step foot into its hungry mouth. When you are ready, let the winds take you. Control your ascent. Keep your eyes on the landing spot. And when you think you have reached the apex of your climb, that is when you need to be strong. Beat your wings as though they were pulling you from the jaws of death, and try and claw your way out of this torrent that is this upstream. Control is yours. All you have to do is claim it. But first you must let go. What do you do?
I think Kaz, clearly in his younger self at this point, looks worried that they're not going to succeed, because there's been quite a few times that he's unfortunately failed. Sort of like the lack of confidence in himself is kind of showing through a bit. I will try, Mother. I will try again, and I will keep doing so until I succeed.
Give me a will saving throw, please.
Just not working out, is it? It's a 9.
You say the words, and I think you, in your own mind, are offering her comfort rather than yourself. That fear, that disbelief in yourself. What'd you do?
I think try and like ruffle his feathers a little bit and just try and get, like, maybe poke one of the wings out and just try and feel the wind in the wings and it's themselves.
And you feel as soon as you go to like even move it out from being touched, it like grabs you, and it is like a warm burst of wind. It is strong, and even just this feels like it's going to pull you from the perch. You know, as soon as you let go, you're going up. Tim smiles. Control.
Control.
We are here.
And I think you probably just see Kaz just almost like crouch a little bit more with the legs ready to sort of push himself off. Just with knees bent slightly.
Someone's washing their car at the top.
Upside down. It's a pigeon washing a car. Cat shits on it. Like a bat hanging upside down. Continue.
Oh dear.
Bent knees slightly. Are your eyes just focused on the spot, the landing spot? You probably just take a really big deep breath. You push himself off.
And the wind is strong, and even just letting go, it pulls you from the perch. Warm and dangerous, you let yourself go into the torrent of nature and up towards that jagged moor that is the ceiling. Your wings catching the air, and you're trying to keep you from being thrown around uncontrolled. You stretch them out, shape them, and try and gain a stable position. And in this moment, I need another reflex save, please.
Come on.
You're going to win.
No, believe.
Now you can do it.
You can fly.
Better.
16. Sorry. Yeah, no, 16.
As you
We're nearing
ascend,
double digits.
it is very fast. Faster than you truly anticipated. And you instantly begin to turn and twist, your wings not following the shapes, and hold. You think you need to right yourself. You think you can keep your eye on the prize, but it becomes evident quickly as you lose most control and are ragdolled as you ascend with speed that is harder and harder to keep track of where you are, not knowing which way is up, down, or the way you are supposed to be facing. You feel this ascension is going too fast. Give me a perception check, please, to locate that cave mouth.
Yes.
35.
Okay.
Teamwork.
You reach what you think is the apex of this fast climb. You try and place your eyes on that landing zone, wind forcing you higher and higher with every fraction of a second, while also now starting to cyclone up here. It's now or never. You spot the landing zone. You need to try and pull yourself from the cyclone or face being smashed into the ceiling. Do you try and fly out, or do you let the cyclone take you? Take you.
I think he'll try to use the cyclone, but try and go around the edge of it as a sort of a way to kind of get out of the cyclone.
Okay, that sounds like an acrobatics check, please. To fly. I will say, because of the checks you made so far, the DC is high.
Brilliant.
Unfortunately failed
The worst check I've got.
the two main checks.
22.
Okay. So,
Okay.
you managed to, finally in this, your poo catches up to you and smash you in the face.
Bitty.
I remember eating that scene.
Don't remember eating sweet corn.
You spot the landing zone across this chamber. You try and catch the cyclone. You end up banking really hard. You manage to just miss a stalactite on the ceiling. I need a fortitude save as your wings and try and pull you from the cyclone at the right moment. I will say the check was high because of your fails. The perception check brought it down, and that check has brought it down again. It's still bad because of your failures, but
23. It's not 25.
That's not 25.
you beat your wings and you feel yourself thrust forwards with another gust of wind. You kind of turn over, and it's at that moment everything goes black as you collide with the ceiling. And in this moment, you just find yourself out of the memory and just back in the rooms. Everyone's probably taken a step forward and heard that voice chime out. You've just had to have this moment of remembrance of a time that you were learning to fly in one of these aviaries, and it's sort of taken you back. Little uncomfortable under the shoulder, but
Like a shiver down my spine.
yeah. Gotta hand over to the group.
You okay? Yes.
I don't think any of you would have noticed that.
Oh, I
It's
didn't know.
literally in a split second
okay.
in his mind.
You all hear that voice?
Yeah. Very poetic.
A fun little welcome. Standard thing, Kaz.
The iris, the dais. We'll take you up.
Even for us that can't fly.
Kika, are you coming up with us?
I'll take you to the habitation rig.
Good chap.
On we go then.
How does it take us up?
Is it an elevator? No, I'm not actually.
I think so. I've never had to use it, but I know it should lead up to the veil.
Well, it did say all lifting wings or all rise at midnight, so
Oh, well.
XP, is there a button?
You guys can move up to this dais in the center of this it is like a brass iris around. You notice the actual center bit around the iris creates a secondary platform that doesn't look like it would open with the iris. The actual dais itself looks like a compass, and it has northeast, south, and west, and a large crystalline, not quite an orb, but it's like essentially like a very smooth crystal in the center.
Access denied.
Nothing happens.
Was there something about light in the poem?
I didn't get all of it because it went quicker than I could write.
I will give it you again. The winds of Qidel will carry you. As the first warm breath wakes the dawn, then crowns the zenith under sun, then sighs where daylight fades and yawns, as the last of midnight's winds raise us all.
Possibly something about light creating wind
Like
upwards.
direction of, when the sun rises in the east. And
I can't say I've used one of these before, so I'm just in the dark as much as you are.
It sounds like it's like a cycle of light.
Though we are on a tidally locked planet, so...
It's-
It's going to be a constant source of light. Can I look around and see if there's any, pulleys? It's kind of open certain gaps.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
29.
So, on the two walls that have the semicircular, egg-shaped kind of depressions, there's nothing that you really find. But on the two walls that have these very large, 60-foot brass irises, around them on the walls are these tiny little holes that wind is coming through, and that's where you can hear this reverberating through the room like it's its own whistle.
I don't think it's to do with light. Somehow the winds control the irises and get the irises to open, I think.
Okay.
Can I just have a look around at these irises and see if there is any controls, or if anything's familiar in some sort of way?
A perception check.
Again. $34.
A distinct lack of controls. You don't see any levers on the irises or the doors. You don't see any pulleys. There's no data terminals. There's no technology. This is an ancient chamber.
It keeps mentioning times of day. So do you think certain times of day... But you're right with the compass, and maybe there's something with the compass and the sun.
The wind directing, and maybe a certain...
Give the compass a turn, see what
Can we
happens.
turn the compass?
Turning the compass.
Give it a go.
You go to it feels like it gives.
Okay. So, the first one was the dawn?
The dawn.
Where does the dawn rise here?
Yeah.
So tidally locked, and
And
you
it's-
said that the
It's
southeast, from what I remember, was
Yeah,
the light
dawn.
side.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I mean, the constant light is on the southeast, from what I remember of this side.
Try it.
turn it southeast.
You go to turn it towards the southeast, which you find that where the compass is, it gives you northeast, southwest in those kind of quadrants, and it only gives you those coordinates. So when you put it southeast,
Lovely, yeah.
it is in, it's on the line, and it wants to be in one of those.
Cool.
So which one, as you turn it to, do you allow it to go into, south or east? Because you are turning it.
Go for east.
No, I think east.
East?
Yeah.
Try it. We'll
Go on, go for east. We can always keep fit.
I go east.
You let it go into the east one, and it locks into place for a moment, and the iris on the right-hand side of the room opens, and a warm gust of air bursts through the room, almost like pulling you all to one side. I do need a reflex save from everybody.
No.
I'll give one for Bruce. Bruce is fine.
Ooh.
XP, what's XP's reflex?
Reflex.
10.
Yeah, that's fine.
26.
26,
20.
20,
28.
28,
25.
all succeed. You feel like you were going to get
Ooh.
pulled off and thrown to one side of the chamber, but you managed to still yourselves, dig your feet into the ground, or maybe push yourselves against the thing, against the dais, and you are okay. strong, but then it dies off really quickly, as if it's like first initial gust, and that wind then proceeds through the chamber, and the notes in the room go from this deep "oh" to a "oh," and yeah, you get this very warm morning wind.
There we go.
Dry south!
Cut's got shit all over his face, and none of you know why.
No one mentioned anything, okay?
Tissue.
Well,
He's had a very conscious day.
Cause I've got shit on my face.
It was,
Yeah, tell
this
me about
was
it.
Zenith Under the Sun, was it? Something like that?
Something crowned at the
Oh,
zenith.
Crown poem.
Try south.
South.
Okay. You turn it to the south, and the east iris closes. The one around you opens up, and the coldest air, like ice hitting your bodies,
Ow.
comes up from underneath. I need everybody to make a fortitude saving throw, please.
23.
That's just as loading.
15.
Up to Bruce. Ooh, I have to check that one. You're still loading.
Yep. It's 11 on the dice.
Bruce is a 13 on the dice. Let's do. XP is also a 13. What's his fortitude?
1,000,000.
Sorry. Way with the fairies 10.
Yeah, okay, so XP is fine.
Who did?
Krieger takes a bit of cold damage.
Oh
You all succeed.
19.
You fail.
no! Oh, that means I failed.
Krieger takes 7 points of cold damage. You also take 7 points of cold damage.
Oh.
You all take 3 points of cold damage. As this wind blows up from beneath, you watch Krieger like and go still, and then go limp in XP's arms. Both irises fully close again, and the room goes back to its original tone.
Yeah, so that was wrong. Can someone check on Krieger?
I think he died.
I'm just gonna turn around and stand with a fucking serum.
Cool. Within 6 seconds, what hit serum are you using, please?
I'll just use Mark 1.
Yeah, cool. D8, please. I think I've got one here.
There you go. That's a 3.
3 points to Krieger, who's like,
Hello.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Right.
Don't suppose you fucking know how this thing works. You can
He's
see that
already
Kaz
said
is
he
clearly...
doesn't.
never had to use them, but I know that nobody comes this way.
GM, can I have the poem again, please?
Yes. Miracle knowledge check, please.
Fuck you. Woo! Woo! We die.
I got a 17.
Natural 20.
That was the nonchalant...
She just gets the solution.
Okay, you remember the poem. The winds of Qidel will carry you. As the first warm breath wakes the dawn, then crowns the zenith under sun. Then sighs where daylight fades and yawns.
Dusk.
They're like something in
As the last of midnight's winds raises all.
Midnight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
So midnight raises all.
So that's going to be that last one, the south, because that came from underneath.
So noon has to be north. In theory, it's the alternative.
Or it's both.
The
It's
opposite.
Break the dice! Live in this chamber forever.
What was the size? Sorry, can I just get the size where daylight something
Then
something
sighs where daylight fades and yawns.
fades and yawns? Okay. So we've got the first is east. That is the warm dawn.
Yes.
We've got then the crowning zenith under sun. The size where daylight fades and yawns, and then it's midnight. So we've got east first, south last.
Maybe. I think it is just east.
Try
north,
east,
west.
north, west, south.
North.
I mean-
sun over the top.
It's where it crowns. Because crown. What's the top level called of the of Qidel?
It's just called the Silver Crown.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Should we put our friend on the side
Kind
so
of might
he
need him
doesn't?
here with us.
When it
I
starts.
don't know how this
We-
thing actually transports us. That's fine.
Yeah. So it might just...
Anybody got a blanket?
Just get ready
I've
with...
got this tarp I'm bound in.
Hey, I did a good job with that tarp.
Sorry.
You wanted the tarp.
You can't
the
handle the
tarp
tarp.
I'll put a doily on him.
We'll just be ready to kind of bring him back if we need to. Okay, we're going east.
Okay. You twist it to the east once more, and that iris opens up again. That warm breeze comes through in that gust. I do need a reflex save from everyone again, please.
You know it's coming, so you'll have a +5 to this check.
Oh, what's XP's?
Well, reflex, plus 10.
Oh, okay, and he's got a +5 on top of this because he knows it's coming, so that makes it a 20. He rolled a 5.
23.
23.
27.
22.
33.
Pass. And Krieg is being held, so that's fine. As it goes to like knock you off again, but you stand firm. You then turn it
North.
You turn it north. That iris stays open, and you watch as the one in the roof where that circular pattern is moves, but doesn't open.
Okay.
You hear that change when east opens. You go, ah! Then a harmonizing wind seems to come in, and it gets very warm in here, like the sun at noon for most people if you were on a planet, but not scorching like the desert that you traveled through. And the wind harmonizes in a very musical way to this, like, ah!
West.
You turn it west, and that secondary iris on the wall opens, and another wind comes gushing in from the other side. It doesn't go to knock you over, but you get this change of temperature that is like going from noon into dusk. Nobody needs to make a check.
Ready to go up?
South.
Turn it south, and with that you watch as this iris opens up around this platform that you're on. That cold wind blows upwards, but it's not as frozen cold as when you just turned it south to begin with. Then you feel that platform, and that stone lights up in the center, and it just gently starts to raise up towards the ceiling.
This is lovely.
God, it's just an elevator.
Elevator music starts playing.
The
On to the
sound.
dais, up in the elevator. Go to the crown now, we're making a mess.
That's a good callback.
Thank you.
I like it. The room itself now shines with these four tones that is like... It's such a desert sound to have this like very musical, and actually I think if you tried that euphonic instrument, it's somewhat similar but on a more resonant scale, like an entire room scale.
A room full of ocarinas.
It basically is a room full of ocarinas all playing at like the perfect harmony together, and as you kind of the ring moves its way up, you travel 50, 100 foot, and then you get to like the room where this like platform is around this iris that kind of hangs down by about 6 or so foot that you can see is like another walkway, and it moves up, and water is like pouring down the sides. And it's when you get your first glimpse then of the city as... Where are you?
I'm so sorry.
You've gone through that way, which means that you're on this one. Kaz, you've seen the city before. It is a full circular platform which is 2-tiered. The first tier is a ring about half a mile wide around the circumference pretty much of the entire diameter of Qidel at this particular level. And the secondary tier, which is what you would notice first, is another ring that is about half a mile wide that goes around the circumference, leaving this big hole in the middle. You see like roots and fauna hang from it like the underside of a hanging basket that has been allowed to overgrow. Here, a few birds and other winged small creatures nest or flutter between perches, and the smell of damp ground with like a peppery aroma is strong. You move up and you realise you are moving through what should be almost like a river-wide body of water, but it's been separated to allow you to rise up through it. Kaz, you know this is the Vale. This is an area of water that separates Midspire from the outer perimeter of the city. This large area is densely populated with so many close together buildings and alleyways. This whole place is just mostly homesteads and housing all around that outer perimeter of this body of water called the Vale that surrounds this central district known as Midspire. Midspire and its homesteads and other, I guess the central hub of this district is probably the most affluent place here, and you are coming up right in the middle of it, and you
Act normal.
give me a perception check and then a recall knowledge.
That one for a 19 on perception.
Yeah.
7 on recall knowledge. Yeah. Bollocks.
There's so much I can give you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know this place.
Yeah.
You grew up here, so you know that where you're coming up, you like look around and you're trying to find an archway that should sit in this body of water that should divide a waterfall that comes from this southern farming districts of the quarter in the ring above you. And you are looking around and you're struggling to just see that. And I think it's because you notice there isn't falling water. That should be, the entire south quarter should be a cascade like a waterfall. And you are not sure where that is. You are not sure where in this central... And it literally is kind of like, if you imagine like this whole bit in the center of the table is the inner city and all of this is the outer city. Then there's a ring above the city of this water. In the south is where it should come down. You are somewhere on this ring of water. Krieger is like trying to like look around and like crane their head. Just get into Midspire. Somebody will help us. And
Hopefully we're on the way. I can't see shit.
you see that like as the central thing that's risen up this elevator gets in line with the water, that iris closes and the water fills in around you but leaves this brass ring, and you watch as like little brass stepping stones almost like bloop 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 from the water leading to both the outer city and into Midspire.
Yes, this place is delightful.
It's wonderful. Aside from, you know, the experimentation on children and everything, but other than that,
And a pile of dead bodies.
Sure, we don't know about that. So Midspire we're heading in.
Perception check from you three, please.
Ooh, nat 20.
Natural 1, 14.
19, I think.
32 in total.
19.
26.
Okay. You guys, particularly Pez and Sylph, as you like come up into this, you watch those brass circles materialize, you see a couple of Strix notice you. One of them is quite young and just these like wide eyes, and their head is turning like a bird's, and they just turn around and run into the outer city. You see them probably get to like a stone, and you can see like all the houses on the outer city are made of like the ground stone, and it's obviously been like carved away to create these buildings. They just make a turning past the first one and disappear out of sight. The other one seems to be a elder female who stands near this other section of island in this, I'm going to call it a river for now, that seems to flow around in this circle. And you can see this large 60, 70 foot high archway, and they are wearing these like old bits of cloth, and they have this like long frizzy silvery hair that falls behind them, and you can tell they're quite old, and they like see you and their heads craning and like watching towards you, but with maybe like a caution or with worry, you're not quite sure.
Krieger, which way now?
You seem like trying to look around. And you can tell that the two ways, one goes to the outside, one goes into Midspire. So you
Go to Midspire.
Go to Midspire.
yeah, you
Just go, just go past this slightly elderly.
no, they're on a separate. So say for example, if you were like here,
Yeah.
they're here, and they just noticed a group of people come up from the water and are like,
Do we look like we're prisoners now? Or
What's happening?
I'm still bound.
What's going on?
these are prisoners, and you're far enough away that you spot her. Like you don't. Yeah, you tell me what you're doing.
they're not going to believe a child and an old lady.
Stick to the plan.
Keep on trucking until we stop.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Pretend to be prisoner.
Step off, and as soon as you step off the central island, the last person that steps off, it disappears under the water. And as the last of you take these steps off these brass plates, they also just and disappear again. You step foot onto carved and paved stone. Beautifully made, artistic in nature. It's beautiful compared to the desert, compared to even what you've seen already of the outer city. Like the stonework itself has been made to be more exuberant, I guess. And you see that there are like houses carved a different stone that doesn't look like it belongs here. You see down certain like roads and thoroughfares these like hanging lanterns that look like they should be made of an older metal, but you can tell that they're also technology at the same time. And Krieger's like, the succulent root, and like tries to point in a direction. They're pretty out of it, and you guys just start trying to make it through. Are you just beelining it, trying to make it places? You tell me, like, are you trying to stay outside?
Succulent root.
Yes.
As if that's like a road name sort of thing.
Or a bar.
Or that, or a place.
Are we going as fast as we can but pretending to be prisoners?
Yeah,
I think so,
try and
yes.
stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Would I know of the succulent root?
Give me a recall knowledge check, buddy, and you can add your culture.
Culture. I'm so bad at that.
18.
No. 14 in total.
14 total. You have no clue what the succulent root is. It could be a bar, it could be a street name, it could be a it could be anything really, but it is definitely, it's a name.
Brilliant.
It's one that doesn't fit in with the surrounding desert.
XP, take us along the succulent route, should you know it.
I do not know it.
Wonderful.
That's great.
You see, like, maybe, like, coming around the corner, you see two Strix, a male and a female, probably in their, like, 20s, and they come around the corner, see outsiders. Male. Female. Their, like, heads crane, and they just start backing off.
I'm gonna immediately come in with my reasonable excuse. We're prisoners. We're sad, sad prisoners. They were being taken to prison right now.
These are prisoners. I am taking them to prison.
So
As he carries the body of a bloody...
As
He
to the
was-
story that we've
Yeah.
been arrested because we've
We've
hurt
been arrested.
Strix.
oh, look at us going with our evidence
You
to
can give
prison.
me a bluff
It's a
check.
bluff check. Oh, that's written.
I will give. I don't think XP has bluff, but let's see what they roll. 4 on the dice.
26.
No, you do not get the aid from for XP. They are just like. I'll give them a sense motive.
Prison.
Nat 1 on the first one. Nat 20 on the other one.
Oh!
Balance.
Alright, Thanos.
I think the guy is like, oh, then.
Oh, definitely prison.
And she's like, fucking idiot.
Jimmy Two Fingers. Is that you?
Oh, it's me, Jimmy Strix Fingers.
They are looking at each other, and it's the female's like, run, and they just turn around and start running away, like around the corner.
Let's go quickly.
And Krieger is unresponsive.
He's not completely unresponsive. He would say,
I think I'll try and talk to him. I'm sorry, Creature, but I've never heard of the succulent root before. We're going to need a little bit of direction if we're going to get this fast.
yeah. Head to.
Just give us a quadrant at least.
Yeah, it's weird because you are in a very localized area as it is. It's like maybe half a mile wide, but I'm trying to think like what like the actual area calls. I didn't actually name like the street or the little place they're on. So it's called. It's like head to. I need a name.
Roleplay Press!
Oh yeah, let's see what. Ooh, Game Master's Fantasy Toolkit. I like this one. So I need town features, local attractions, town, crime, news, rumours, markets and shops. I've got the name of the shop. Just one. So let's do town features. 64. Page 64, shall we?
64.
I couldn't think of one on the spot right there.
And if you can't think of something on the spot, you can head over to Roleplay Press and use Dragonborn 10 to get 10% off your toolkits.
Said page 64, but I think I read the wrong thing. Oh, that's page 20. Fucking can't even read an index, you swat. D8, please.
Go on, Kaz.
Yes, you'll see.
You'll see.
Go on, remember.
3.
Remember, Kaz.
No, don't like that one. Next.
Remembered wrong.
5.
Remembered wrong again.
Head to the Artisan Plaza and then head up from there. And
Would I know where they are?
give me record knowledge.
Come on, Kaz.
Yeah, that's the culture.
You lost confidence on that one. It was that didn't quite follow through.
He's already done that this episode.
9.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You now have to, you think, just head to the centre. You're like, we are somewhere in the south, maybe. We just head to the centre. We might find somebody who, like, might help us, but we need to just head that way. And you guys just start bucking it through this area here. And it's interesting because you're trying to move with speed while also not being seen, but also prisoners, body, and people are starting to notice. And you get the sense that there is, like, panic around anyway. And then people see you, and they're either like closing curtains, they're like shutting doors.
Can I... Fuck this. I'm going to take the binding off. I'm going to try and find someone nearby that's maybe just on their own that's like trying to scuttle away or something, and try and just catch them physically if I have to.
Right, let's do an acrobatics check versus a reflex. I will give them...
See,
Now I roll!
well, yeah, because last time you were like,
they're just getting a d20 because they're a fucking commoner.
Don't roll it.
Nat 20. No, kidding, it's fine. You probably...
Jesus. 25, by the way.
You know what? You probably call her a kid. It's like...
Fine.
They are probably they're the most curious and yet don't have that danger sense yet that some of the adults do in this secular society. So when they hear or see an outsider, they're like deer in the headlights. They don't really know what to do. And it's only when like maybe like another older person in the building who's like goes to close the door and like, run! The kid's like, oh! And you just grab them by...
Just like hold him by the shoulders and just kind of like succulent root, where is it?
Kaz.
Not like this, alright? That's not the fucking time.
Child, Kaz.
Are you attempting to scare them? Are you trying to persuade them? Are you... What are you wanting this to be?
I think I'll follow it. Yeah, just by saying, I'm not going to hurt you. Just tell me where this place, succulent root, where it is. I promise you, you will not be hurt. So I'm trying to please.
Diplomacy.
21.
Okay, they're like... Down there, turn left.
Brilliant.
Follow the main road to the plaza.
Off you go.
And they like run off. They're like trying to flap their wings. They've not learned to fly yet. They like fall over. They eat shit.
I just look at him and go, I know the feels, man.
Are we having
Dark
To the
mirror.
plaza to the left.
Are we having witnesses?
I thought about sticking him to the floor.
I'm sorry?
What?
Sticking who to the floor?
I don't have a blade to do this with.
I think the child will leave the child go.
Are we not?
No, let's just carry on the directions that the child said.
I can kill them.
No.
No.
Let's go. Quickly go.
Are they a threat to the party?
Pot tipping.
They are not.
No.
They could give our
Let's
information away.
give up.
Activating yellow star plasma run. No, and you guys begin
I have
bucketing.
worried about him giving us away, particularly as you've asked where we're going.
Probably.
We'll give up the prisoner thing.
Yeah.
It's-
Let's
it's-
just
we're-
go.
I don't think we need it.
Let's just go.
Yeah, down the plaza, take a left, just as the kid said.
So you run down, and people are like, word is spreading fast, but you start running, and it's probably moving about as fast as you guys are. And you see some people are like, you know, they don't know what's happening, so like people start to clear the streets, and you see like the heads craning. Some people like run inside, but then you run past, and people are like looking left and right. It's like, what just happened? They see a security robot with this like body in tow, and these people running in front of it. You turn at and you know it's the Artisan Plaza when you get there, because people are like working on both feathercraft things as well as root work items, and like it's weird to be in like such a market stall place, which you're not used to from Absalom Station. You've not been here for so many years. I mean, I don't think Pez has ever seen anything like this kind of, it's not archaic living, but it's like people have made that choice to live in a very natural way, while you still see that people have cybernetics and stuff, and the buildings are made of stone, but yet there is like computers, and there are this modern day technology for where you are. You get to Artisan Plaza and you turn left and start heading up, and you see a couple of different shops, and you know you're in the right place. The first one that you see with it's almost like a hand painted but very well done circuit board that says the motherboard. Then there's another one that has like a cybernetic eye that says an eye for an eye, and then another one that says cybernetic city, which looks very corporate and just like not a lot of thought we put into it.
Home.
And you see like a few other shops that are on this road that lead up to it, and one of them has a tubular like vegetable for a sign with these long roots that seem to be absorbing moisture from the ground.
Artisan double O-T.
Did you think it's like R-O-U-T?
Yeah, T-E. Yeah.
I did at first thinking it was
to be fair.
that.
And like the roads, they have this, it's almost like cul-de-sac-esque to them, where even though you can go on through, they almost like go out into these like little circular pods, and inside each one is like a set of shops. And this particular one, you see the succulent root, you see this essentially a vegetable shop, but with these alien-like roots in there, but also that there is the sign for like hydroponic repairs with it as well. There is another one across from them called Spice and Flavor, and another one which has essentially a cooking pot with a amphibious like creature poking out of it, with these two head tendrils that seem to be like its gills, very like an axolotl, but with only like two of them rather than like the full hand thing, which almost reminds you of Calyx in a way, but not quite. And they've been created to look very cartoon-like and have this big smile, and that one says the hopping pot. And you see like there are people outside them that are like starting to turn with the commotion, and one of them is a person, a pale grey with like blue tones, but like soft with more rounded bright eyes, and her hair is tousled and loosely tossed back over her head. They have this very Strixien like look to them with their neck as they're like looking around and trying to move their head to see. And they wear this like simple leather apron with like secateurs and thick woven gloves poking out of it, of this like large central pocket. She has this like simple shirt underneath it, no armor, that buttons up sort of over here on the left shoulder, but it's fallen back slightly. Maybe to give more airflow or just that it's not been done up. And there's like a small smudge of dirt on her face just over her right cheekbone. She sees you all coming. You watch her eyes widen in fear, and then her eyes lock onto the security droid. Krieger! And that's where we're going to end today's session. So thank you very much, YouTube and podcast. We'll see you all next week. If you're around on Twitch, stick around and we'll read out any of the donations that we missed or the gifts and stuff that we missed last week, and we'll do our drift debrief. But until then, thank you so very much. We will see you all in the future. May the dice gods be ever in your favour.
See you later.
Bye.